For some of you, the mind might come with some proclamation just about now, saying that this is it, I got it. And we must not even believe this one. And if it does get your belief, then you must inquire. Because the last stand of the ego is the spiritual ego. The pretend person claiming to be the enlightened person is the spiritual ego. How do we know this is spiritual ego or not? It manifests with the messaging that there is something special about me. I am something different from everyone else. And there are many beautiful awakening experiences which are then again pulled back into egotism because of this spiritual ego. And if there is such a thing as a strong adversary to the voice of the truth, if there is such a thing, then it is this spiritual ego, as illustrated very well in the Ramayana, where Ravan is a representation of the spiritual ego because he knew everything, all the scriptures. He was a great Pandit. What was his message? It was that, why should I bow down to Ram? If he is God, I am also God. So he's saying all the right stuff. Saying all the right stuff. But still coming from the sense of specialness, personal specialness. We find that those who are caught up in this spiritual ego, then are almost impossible even to get through to. Then you just have to let grace do the work. And even in the Ramayana, it is said that Ram had to chop off the head 10 times. So if a normal ego is just one chop, we say chop the head. So this head had to be chopped 10 times because it comes back. And it is speaking the truth. You tell the spiritual ego, it's good if you do some self-inquiry. What is the response? I'm not the doer. You cannot argue with it. You see, who am I? It says, who's asking the question? It's just closed, you see. It's good if you go to Arunachala. I just go wherever God takes me. So all this fancy language was still smelling of person. This is the spiritual ego. It's like Adya says very nicely. He says that all the words which you could be saying could be true, but you're still being a jerk. The sense of specialness, that now I am something special. And all of us who are in satsang will experience some traces of this. And I'm sure my wife will testify strongly to that as well. So, but the good news is that life knows, grace knows, and suffering will squeeze this ego out of us. Just like love and fear cannot coexist, specialness and gratitude cannot coexist. And this is a nice way to check. Because many times we don't know. We don't know whether we are afflicted by the spiritual ego or not. So a good way to check is there gratitude? Because specialness usually exhibits itself in a very unworthy way, almost to say. Because it will say things like, oh, now, my guru and I, we're just buddies, we're the same anyway, so. Yes, yes, it was useful to hear him for some time. This kind of, just to check. The ego is very smart, the mind is very smart, and it will use Advaita itself as a very solid defense for the ego. And you find many of these people, especially on the streets of towns like Tiru, who have picked up these Advaitic concepts. but it is all still coming from a personal perspective, from a perspective of specialness. And you can smell it in their breath. Because there is nothing wrong with the content of the words. It is only that you can smell that it is not accompanied by the fragrance of love, peace, and joy. That is why I feel that a very worthy prayer, and a prayer which is often repeated here also, is to say that if there's any arrogance here, if there's anything sense of specialness which is perpetuating here, let life slap it out of here immediately, right now. And there are many in the Sangha who have made this prayer, and they'll testify it really works very fast. And this is probably what Papaji meant when he said, vigilance till the last breath. It was not this restricted sort of vigilance, like this restricted state. It was just this natural flowing. And if there was some sense of suffering, if there was some sense of discomfort, some sense of identity getting picked up, just to be vigilant about that. And it's a sign of great humility, isn't it?